Dwayne's World with Dwayne Russell.
Can be credited with the shift of the whole football club, along with the coach Damien Hardwick, arguably maybe the greatest captain of Richmond of all time, probably just behind Captain Blood, Jack Dyer, and just did everything right. And we don't lose him as a player. He's going to play on next year, obviously, which is super exciting. But when the door opens for someone else to come in and fill what is really big shoes.
Jack Riewoldt on Trent Cotchin's career, just behind Captain Blood. Might be a bit harsh. He's number one by games captain, and he's handing over the captaincy reins. Neil Barnes has been good enough to join us, Richmond Senior Club Advisor. Welcome to you, Balme. Great to have you on the program again.
It's a bit hard to beat Captain Blood, isn't it? Yeah, well.
It is a bit hard, but
I'm sure that's not worrying him.
There's not a lot of three-time premiership captains around, though, Balme.
Oh, no, and captain is one of the important jobs at the club, and if you get it right, well, you've probably got a chance of winning. But I'm sure that's not what Trent's thinking about. I think he was just doing his job, doing the best he could to help his mates play as well as they could. And fortunately, he's been in a really important time the last 4 or 5 years where he's been. His leadership has been really quite substantial and shown our other guys the way, and we've been lucky enough to get some really good outcomes. So he should be very proud of what he's done. There's no doubt about that.
So who's your next one?
Oh, we'll take plenty of time to look at that. There's quite a few who would put their hand up if you're serious about it, and then you've got to decide what you want out of your captain. Do you want the on-field leadership? Do you want the off-field leadership? Every player's got their part to play within the leadership within the club, because that's what it's all about. It's all about looking after each other and buying into each other. But we'll have a look at it. We'll probably let the players have a bit of a say. It depends a bit on what the coach feels as well. So we've got plenty of time to look at it. It's really, and in Trent's case, he could probably just said nothing and we would have just gone on with him. But he's really saying, look, I just want to get the most out of the rest of my playing career, and you're going to need another captain at some stage. So let's have a look at it now.
So what did specifically Trent bring that you would want the new captain to bring as well?
Oh, he's just got a natural ability to care about the bloke next to him and actually play natural team footy. Always commits himself, always puts his head over the ball, always does his best, always trains hard, does all of that stuff. And within it, he's still human as well. He still has his human frailty, and he's not frightened of that at all. So, he's really, I think he said to the players 4 or 5 years ago, I'm just going to be myself, and you blokes can follow me. And I think that's a very important part of it, because it's all about individuals doing their best to make sure that the team does as well as they can. And we have had a pretty good couple of years under his leadership.
And impact-wise, you probably would have won 3 premierships if you didn't captain the team. But has that been part of the reasoning? When you look back in time, is naming him captain going to be one of those turning points where you think, well, gee, I'm glad we got that right, because that could have been something, if we got it wrong, might have led us down a different path?
Oh, it's always very hard to judge all that sort of stuff, but there's no doubt that he's been terrific leader for his teammates. He's shown them the way. He's helped people when he's needed to help them. So clearly, it was an important part of what we did. But if someone else had been captain, he still would have behaved the same way and behaved like a leader and a captain anyway, I would think. So it's always hard to make those judgments.
Do you think Dustin Martin would like it?
I don't think he would be opposed to it, but it's really just interesting. In the good old days, you say the best player's got to be the captain, but that's not necessarily what we do nowadays. It's the best captain is the captain, and we'll have a look at that and see what it means. But certainly there's no doubt that Dusty's going to play a very big part in whatever happens over the next few years here.
What's your process? If he wants it, do you say, okay, well, you can have it, or does he have to have a player vote? How does that work?
Oh, we haven't even decided all that yet. We're looking at it going, well, we've got plenty of time to look at this. We'll see who's available, what we really think we want, talk about it within our leadership programs. And fortunately, we got plenty of time to have a bit of a think about it. So, no, there's no simple set way of doing it as yet, no.
Are you against joint captains, or do you think that could work as well?
I'm not totally against it, but I think if you're going to make a decision, you should make a decision. But it depends on what's there. There could be 2 or 3 that are genuinely equal. So in that case, you would have to consider it. But I think more than likely, you'd just have the one captain, I would think.
Do you need that captain named pretty early in pre-season, or can you leave it until pretty late before, the actual season starts?
Oh, yeah, I think we can leave it as long as we like because, I mean, as I said before, every player's got their responsibility within the team in terms of leadership and what they do and how they behave and what they stand for. So it really won't matter that much. So there's no rush. I don't think there's no time limit on it. Obviously, we'll need one by the time we play our first game. But, no, we haven't really thought about the timing yet.
Got a Callum Coleman-Jones update for us?
We're very keen for him to stay. We thought we gave him enough opportunities last year to show that he's going to play for us. But we've got to recognise what the system is. The system says that they've got the right to make some decisions, and other clubs will be very keen to get a hold of him. And who knows what'll happen? Whatever will happen will happen. As I said, we'd be keen for him to stay, but we'll just have to see what happens.
So he hasn't given you a decision yet. Are you expecting that today or in the next 24 hours?
I think it'd be reasonably soon. I certainly haven't heard, no. I'm hoping that he stays, but who knows what'll happen. But, yeah, I think we'd know reasonably soon.
Can we believe what gets written in the press or what reporters like Sam Evan tell us? 4 years and $450 a year has been offered. Is that the ballpark?
If he's getting that, I'm going with him. Look, I mean, it's not fair to even talk about all that sort of stuff. But you're never quite sure what's going on in the background. But but that's why we have to respect his decision. He needs to make a decision. And what he's going to have to decide is he going to get enough opportunities with us? Would he get more opportunities somewhere else? What's he going to be paid? Is he looking short term? Is he looking long term? They're all the things that he will take into account. I mean, we'll obviously be telling him the story from Richmond's point of view, but he'll be thinking of the story from a slightly more selfish point of view, from his own point of view, obviously. But I mean, we're keen for him to stay, and we think we've looked after him, and we'd like to see him have another year with us at least. But we'll just see what happens. Well, yeah, we're not going to shoot him if he doesn't, obviously, but because we've still got other opportunities. But we're hoping he stays.
And I don't expect you to tell me how much he's been offered, but for money-wise, what about years? Has he been offered for by you guys?
Pretty sure not, but I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I haven't. I probably should know, but I don't know.
Marbia, how's that deal looking? Is he still a chance to stay?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think we're keen for that to happen as well. But I mean, he's in the same position where he will say, "Well, where am I going to get enough opportunities? Has someone else offered me more opportunities?" And he needs to, make a kind of a rational, objective judgment of that. And whatever happens there will happen there as well. I mean, he's been around long enough for us to have perhaps thought that he should have had more opportunities. But he's played some good footy with us, but not probably quite as much as we would like. But we'll be happy for him to stay as well. But I mean, if they don't, well, you have to move on. That's just the way it is. You've got to accept that that's part of the game. And
you expect Callum Coleman-Jones in the next 24 hours or even sooner to let you know. When will Marbiot let you know?
Again, I should know, but I'm not absolutely sure of that either. It depends on what he's been offered, and I'm not quite as close to that as I should be.
Yeah,
I'll go and talk to Blair in a minute, and I'll find out.
Would they have offered him for? Is that the kind of?
So, no.
Okay,
I would doubt it, but honestly, I don't know. It's not fair of me to say. No.
Yeah, is 4 getting a bit much now for players in general? Do you think? What are you? Where are you at with your thoughts on long-term deals?
Oh, you have to be a very, very good player to get a long-term deal, I would have thought.
Did Adelaide offer you a long-term deal? It's the first time you've spoken since. Weren't you going?
Well, when you said before, can you believe what you read in the press? Well, it was reported in the press that I'd accepted it, that I hadn't even spoken to them at that stage at all, hadn't even had a conversation with them. So I don't know where that came from. It made it look like I'd backed off something that I'd agreed to, but I hadn't agreed to it. They were, it was very interesting, and I was really keen to talk to them. I was very flattered by what they thought. But in the end, I had a commitment already had a commitment with Richmond that I felt I needed to live up to, and they wanted me to, so I decided that that's what I should do. And now that it's over with, whilst I don't disrespect what Adelaide were talking about, I'm really pleased that I'm staying with the Tigers.
Was it just a phone call to have a chat, or did you actually have a sit down with them and give it some serious thought?
Oh no, all on the phone, obviously. I know I had a serious chat with him, and I did take it seriously, and it was, it was quite flattering and interesting and quite exciting in its own way. But in the end, already had a commitment to Richmond, even though I think if I'd have said I need to go back to Adelaide for all these reasons, they probably would have let me. I felt that I had a commitment to Richmond, and I thought, and they were very keen for me to stay, so I thought I should honour that.
You'd get a few of those calls, though, wouldn't you, from clubs? There'd be plenty of clubs that would want Neil Balme. Do you get many of them?
No, they know that I'm 69 years old, mate. Why would they want me?
Because you're the guru.
I'm ready to play again, I think.
Are you Richmond for life, Balme? Is that you now? Are you enjoying it that much that, I mean, will there be roles within the organisation for you to sort of morph into whatever's needed from Neil Balme?
Oh, look, I'm not really thinking that far ahead. I'm certainly a Richmond man for life anyway, but that doesn't mean I'll stay here forever. But we'll see how we go. No, I'm really excited. The response from the Richmond people has been outstanding, so I'm really pleased that I'm staying.
And the fighting of the cliff, we're talking about Geelong, whether they'll fall off it. Where are the Tigers at?
Oh, no, I'm really confident they will be very strong next year. I've got little doubt. They're in a good place. The coaches are in a good place. They're looking at it and judging our year for the right reasons and the right way. We'll be better off next year. We'll have, unless we have as many injuries as we had again, but I think we'll be in a pretty good spot, yeah.
Is Daniel Talia on your radar?
Oh, there's quite a few blokes we're looking at, and he's certainly one we're considering, but no, radar is probably not fair. Small R radar, I'd say.
Quentin Narkle in it?
Not that I'm aware of, no. No, okay. That doesn't mean he's not. But no, because lots of things do happen at this stage where sometimes you don't hear it all until, and people tend to keep things a little bit quieter because they don't want them to be discussed at the level that, like with you and I are discussing it, because it makes it easier for things to happen. So, no, I don't think so. But we're not in a position to be able to do very much because we haven't got much room to move in terms of salary cap, etc. So, don't think we'll be that aggressive.
Are you a chance to lose Adam Kingsley?
Oh, well, if someone appointed him as their senior coach, you would lose him because and he's a damn good coach and he's certainly worth considering. But I'm not thinking that we are at this stage, but nothing's ever totally out of the question. So
you don't sort of keep across any discussions that your assistants might have with other clubs and how close they are maybe to getting it, or did that get disclosed?
Yeah, reasonably, but no, you try not to because there's a lot of that going on, and you've got to let that sort of take its own course. You don't want to be too sort of worried about that sort of stuff. Well, what we want to do is encourage our people to to improve their lives and do all the things they want to do. So we don't want to be too negative about it, but we'll see what happens, eh?
Can you see him coaching an AFL club, if not next year at some stage down the track?
Oh, he's certainly got the capacity to. He knows the game well. He presents really well. The players like him, so I'd be surprised if he weren't considered. But you never know. They're pretty hard to get. There's not many of those jobs around,
No, it's not. Hey, before I let you go, who wins the grand final?
Oh, I thought Geelong and Port would have won last week, so I'm not the one to ask. And I think they both played extremely well and should be so proud of the way they played. And to be fair, when I saw Melbourne play, I thought, they'll win the grand final for sure. They played so well. But then Bulldogs played very, very similarly. So you get the feeling it's going to be a damn good game. If they can both play up to the way they played last weekend, it'll be a very, very good game. I get the feeling Melbourne just might be a little bit more settled, but who knows? Who knows? They're both very good. They should be proud of themselves.
And you got a bit of love there, obviously.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, no. It's I was trying to be objective and rather than saying who I wanted to win.
Balme, always great to have a chat to you. Every time we get you on, there's a heap of people on the text saying we should have you as a regular. You're a champion. Love listening to Balme. They all come through.
Before.
Yeah, that's right. This used to be your spot. In fact, I think you used to own this hour, so I appreciate you lending it to me for a while.
Good on you, mate. Nice talking to you.
And every time we get you on, someone reminds me of 84. So thanks to that texter as well. Neil Balme, Richmond Senior Club Advisor, joining us for Hyundai High Performance Forklifts, the driver's choice. So visit your local independent dealer at Trinity Hyundai Forklifts or Google Hyundai Forklifts. If you drop into Trinity Hyundai Forklifts, make sure you tell them we sent you. Back with a couple of your calls next.